What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I am Van. We are all the LFR family. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for clicking play. Hopefully, you click the like button as well. Share this bad boy. Comment, comment, now answer the poll that I put up about Robert De Niro, who had his moment in front of the cameras, in front of the reporters. You already know he loved the cameras. That's why he chose to be an actor. That's why he, chose to hit the profession he chose. But he had a lot of tough words to say about Trump. A whole lot of them. Tough words, because he played a bunch of tough guys, and in the majority of the film he was in. So we are here to talk about him and see if anything he said holds any merit whatsoever. Because I am not a biased Trump supporter. I'm not a biased conservative. I'm not a biased Democrat. I'm not a biased. I'm just. I have no dog in the fight. I choose nobody specifically. All I want is for the truth to come out of these people's mouths, especially people with platforms as large as Robert De Niro's, with people with the reach as long as Robert De Niro. I expect a little more. It seemed to me, well, honestly, I don't expect more because he's from the land of Hollywood, and we already know how the land of make believe is. The land of make believe is the land of make believe. And right now, he's trying to fearmonger the same way everybody else on that side is trying to fearmonger. Before I move forward, I want to say hello to everyone. Thank you so much for clicking play. I really appreciate you guys. Lisa Marie, what's going on? Joseph, I got to shout out Joseph for being the first person here. Joseph Morelli, he said, one delusional old man preaching for another delusional old man. He's talking about Robert De Niro is the delusional old man who is preaching for Joe Biden, who is another delusional old man. Shout out to Lisa Marie, Chef DeMarzo, Jennifer Ford. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Anthony Marquez, what's going on? Keith James, Krista, Miss Thang. I like that name. Hey, I might be messing with you for a little bit, Miss Thang. Hey, shout out to Miss Thang. What do y'all think about the thumbnail? Let me know in the chat or in the comments what y'all thought about the thumbnail, because I think it's necessary. I think it's totally necessary. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. I think it matches who he is as a person. I actually did a video about this yesterday on Instagram. Shout out to the UK. Jane, what's going on? Anna Hillock, what's going on? Diane Hall, that's the name of my guardian who keeps on calling me, by the way. And I just now got off the phone with her, but I let her know that I was going to be doing something for her, and I'm also going to be working as well. But shout out to all of you guys. And right now, my favorite name on the list is Miss Thang. I don't know why, but that's hilarious. Miss Thang. Miss Thang. You sound like my aunts and all the older young ladies back in the day, the older ladies back in the day, when they see a young girl doing something, switching or dressing a certain type of way, they be like, "Ooh, look at Miss Thang right there." Miss Thang. All right, so let's go and check these joints out, guys. We're not going to waste any time. Much love to you all. And again, thank y'all so much for hitting play and hitting the like button. And I plan on talking to y'all about my YouTube coaching services a little later, but that's not for now. For right now, we getting right to the meat. Let's get to the business, guys. Love y'all, man. Let's get to it. Now, first up is the Trumps, the children Trumps, who are going to show up, and they got something to say, because I think it's necessary that we play both sides. And I plan on playing the Robert De Niro one very soon. We're going to talk about the Robert De Niro one very soon. But I want to hear what the Trumps have to say so we can jump into that next.
After watching this trial, do you trust the
well,
jury
guys,
to make the right decision?
This is amazing. I think Todd Blanche summed it up best. If there was an MVP, if there was a GOAT of liars, it is Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen is the embodiment of reasonable doubt. And this entire case hinges on someone who has quite literally lied to every single person and body he's ever been in front of. He's lied before, I believe it's every branch of Congress. He's lied before his wife, he's lied to bankers, he's lied to all of you in the press, and he's actually lied to that very jury, and yet he's the only person of relevance that this entire case hinges on.
Thank you, Miss Thang. Thank you, Miss Thang. Hey, shout out to Miss Thang. Miss Thang, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you. Let me see. There you go. Woo! Woo! America! Miss Thang, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm with you on this. Although I still love a whole bunch of the older Robert De Niro movies, him in this capacity, fear-mongering, sounding ignorant as hell, I don't know. It's a Debbie Downer, man. It's one of them things that dry up women and make men very soft, if that makes any sense. But let's go ahead. Thank you so much, Miss Thang.
We understand that this is a political persecution. That was evidenced today by the Biden campaign themselves holding a rally here. They bring in Robert De Niro, who was shot down, but apparently he needs attention because it's been a while since he's cranked out a good movie. But think about it. They bring out one actor. Remember in 2020 when every A-list actor in the world showed up for Joe Biden, they lined up one by one? Now they get one person. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson disavowed, said, hey, listen, I regret voting for him. Cardi B, all the people that lined up behind Joe Biden understand that he has failed our country, he has failed the citizens of this nation, frankly, he has failed the world. But the fact that they're holding a rally across the seat from this very witch hunt, right across the street, tells us exactly what we all knew all along, that it is a political persecution. It is a witch hunt. There is a reason one of the people sitting at that desk was the number 3 person in Joe Biden's DOJ. I know my father is not allowed to say Matthew Colangelo in his name, right? Because he's been gagged. The President of the United States is not allowed to exercise his First Amendment rights in New York City in this day and age. Does that not tell us all everything we need to know about what we're witnessing? It's a witch hunt. They're using it as a political fundraiser, just like this very judge's daughter has profited from this very case. It is an insanity. It is an embarrassment. It's an abomination to democracy and to our republic. And yet it continues. Everyone in this case is conflicted, and it hinges on one man who's not just a liar, convicted, someone who's lost his law license, has been disbarred, someone who's served jail time for lying before congressional bodies, and that's it. That's where we are today in America. This is a sham, it's insane, and it needs to stop, because if you think for 1 second that this ends with Donald Trump, you have not been watching what's going on in the Democrat Party in the last few years. They want power at any and all costs. Your rights be damned. That can't stand, that can't happen. This sham prosecution, this insanity, this abomination has to stop now.
After watching this trial, are you convinced that the jurors are going to be able to make the right decision?
So I sit here today as a son. Forget about politics for a second. I've been in that courthouse with my father almost every single day, and not a single New Yorker, as they look at murders in the streets, women getting thrown in front of trains, kids getting shot in Times Square, the degradation of this city. Not a single New Yorker believes that over $130,000 payment from 9 years ago, from 8 years ago, that the entire DA's office is lining that courtroom. They're sitting there, they're laughing, they're giggling. This was their moment. This is how they embarrassed Donald Trump. This is legal lawfare. All while this state absolutely melts. Everybody that sits here right now, every single one of you, knows that this is not the same state that we knew 10 years ago. Now, knew it was not the same state as we saw 5 years ago. You have total degradation of New York State because the only thing that Alvin Bragg wants to do, only thing that Letitia James wants to do is criminally prosecute Donald Trump. And they're doing it for one reason. They're doing it because they have a political vendetta. They're all funded by George Soros. That's what this is. This is political lawfare, and it absolutely has to stop. And I watch a man, he's the toughest man I've ever seen, and he endures this nonsense every single day. He sits in that seat, and that's not comfortable. He's never done a damn thing wrong. They tried to impeach him in D.C. They tried to impeach him a second time. They went after his Supreme Court justices. They turned the DOJ, they turned the FBI against him. They couldn't stop him. When that didn't work, guess what they did? They went after his family. They went after me. 110 subpoenas later that I've received. I've never gotten so much as a parking ticket. 110 subpoenas. They went after Don. They went after Laura. They went after little Baron Trump as a young kid, as a young teenager. They went after Tiffany Trump. They tried to make his life hell. And then they weaponized every single DA. They weaponized every AG.
Let me tell y'all something. I was not Team Trump before. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I was not Team Trump. I was not, because y'all know I voted for Biden. Okay, go ahead and cuss me out. I'm part of the problem. I do realize that. I grew up blue no matter who. I grew up vote Democrat. I grew up in Southeast DC, Washington DC, and everybody votes blue and nobody pays attention to what we're voting for. We just see the party that's always allowing us to destroy our neighborhoods. They do nothing about what's going on in our neighborhoods, in our communities, allowing us to continue to kill one another and sell the drugs on the street and just destroy one another, have as many abortions as possible, just go in there and get another one, 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 get another. And they don't care. They want us to sell our family down the daggone river for a welfare check or welfare card, however they do it right now. So I was always Democrat. I voted Biden. Let me tell you something right now. I'm voting for Trump, bruh, period. Because I want to see Trump win. After all of this stuff that they're doing to him, trying to destroy him, like I want to see this. I want to have front row seats as Trump win, and all of the powers that be, all of the different three-letter agencies that participated in taking him down, all of the Hollywood stars, like back in 2015, 2016, when they realized that Trump was running as a Republican candidate, and at first they were all his friends, and then they started to prey on his downfall and claim that if he became president, they were going to move out the country and all these things. And none of them moved out the country, but they're still super bitter because the one that they backed did not win. I don't know why they backed Hillary in the first place, but I was just foolish as hell. I cannot wait to see their faces and hear them deny the election and deny this and deny that and just talk bad and bitter about all of Trump supporters. I can't wait to see that. I cannot. I'm gonna buy popcorn. I'm gonna buy one of those little toys that glow up and you push a button and a little fan and it probably blows out bubbles. I'm gonna celebrate because this right here is ridiculous, bruh.
In every far left area, because Biden is incompetent and he's losing in all the polls. Across the board, he's losing in every quantifiable metric. Our country is going to hell. And this is their answer. Go after him for $130,000. And I want to say sorry to the jury that's in there. This has been the greatest colossal waste of time. I want to say thank you to the NYPD. You have thousands of officers down here. Thousands of officers down here that could be protecting our streets. Instead, they're guarding this courthouse against a sham trial. This has cost New York millions and millions and millions of dollars. And New York deserves so much better than this. And I cannot wait for the day that we win. We will. We're right. The entire country knows that this is nonsense. They don't buy it. A poll just came out from the New York Times. Even Democrats, the vast majority of Democrats, know that this case is a sham. And I think we're going to prevail. And I'm just proud of the toughest person I've ever met in my entire life for having the backbone and fortitude to go through this whole mess, as uncomfortable as it's been. And I'm proud to have stood there every single second by his side in that freezing cold courtroom against unthinkable odds and a corrupt judge and people making a lot of money and this political witch hunt. He's an inspiration to me every single day, and he'll be vindicated. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't know what else to say that hasn't been said, but I think it's pretty obvious after all of the evidence has been presented now. We can very clearly see, if you didn't already know, that this was never a case about seeking justice. This was never a case about prosecuting an actual crime. This was never a case about protecting the citizens of the city of New York. This is a case about politics, pure and simple. And it is such a shame, as someone who used to live in this city, to see the top law enforcement officer in the city of New York, Alvin Bragg, sitting up in that courtroom, knowing all the resources he pulled together, all the time, all the taxpayer money in this city that was spent to go into this case when, as Eric just noted, you have crime sky high, people being pushed in front of subways, women getting punched in the face in broad daylight in this city, anti-Semitism spewing out of our universities right here in New York City. They're not caring about any of those crimes. They're not pursuing any of those crimes. They care about this, which we know is not a crime. They have not proven anything to be a crime whatsoever, and they will not. Because at the end of this, we all know what it is about. And to the jury, when they realize these people who have wasted 5 weeks of their time in there, that they have been part of a political game, as New Yorkers, I'm pretty sure they're going to be upset about it. This is not the United States of America if this is successful. This is Banana Republic type stuff. And if they can profit off it on the other side, so can we. DonaldJTrump.com. If you want to contribute to help Donald Trump become the 47th president of the United States. They cannot succeed. They will not succeed. We will continue to fight alongside my father-in-law, our 45th and I believe 47th president, for what we know is true and right. Thank you.
After watching this trial.
Now, Robert De Niro, you are up next. Bruh, we are going to listen to you. We're going to listen to you with our whole hearts. But we're really going to talk about you because you are off your freaking rocker, bruh. Most of us have enjoyed Robert De Niro movies. At least I have. I thought that his career has been phenomenal. What I don't get is why he's pandering so much. Yeah, I do, because all of his friends are in Hollywood. All of his friends, they all support the delusional side, and I really don't understand why. Hopefully somebody can make that clear as to why they are supporting the delusional side, the most detrimental side. I want to hear that. I really have no clue as to why they're doing everything in their power to stop this brother. But whenever we see something like this, please share this, guys. Like this video. This is the only price of admission for this live stream is just to like it. You don't have to do no super chats or any of that. If you do, that's cool. But just to like this video and to share it possibly and continue to comment. But Robert De Niro, I really have no understanding of him, but I have absolutely no understanding of how the government are coming together to bury Trump. And because they are doing that, it makes me want to know the truth a little more. Like, it should make you want to know the truth a lot more as well, because it's just crooked as hell, man. And it's in our faces, and they don't care. They don't care at all. It's like Joe Biden just sick the dogs on him. Like, go get him. Go get him. And we like, okay, we like this. That's trash, bro. Ain't no way. If they can do this to him, they can definitely do this to us. For real. All right, so let's go and jump into this joint, man, because listen, I have an agenda today, and my agenda is just to handle business and make sure we have a conversation that's worth having, because I think it's necessary. All right, so not sure if you saw the whole thing, but we're going to watch the whole thing. Be open-minded, guys. Be open-minded. But we're gonna give this dude his issue. For real. We're gonna give him his issue. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
Thank you. I mean, this is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this, but he's just, he wants to sow total, he wants to sow total chaos.
She said, could you speak up? Why you do that to the old man? You know old people don't like to speak in the microphones. I was in church for a long time in ministry, and every single time a old person came and got on the daggone microphone, they did not speak into it. They will hold it, but they not speaking into it. This brother got 5 microphones in front of him, and he is not speaking up. Like, bruh, this is what you do for a living. You talk, you speak, you know what I mean? All right.
Which he's succeeding in some areas and places to do. Anyway, beside all that, this is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town, but we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Donald Trump wants to destroy the city of New York, and eventually he wants to destroy the world. All I want, just as a voter, just as a fan, well, old fan of Robert De Niro, all I want is some substance, bro. I get it that you're giving a speech as a native New Yorker, someone who's beloved in your city, someone who's over the top popular and rich AF. I get all of that, bro. But people like myself who are watching you speak, if you really want to make an impact, how about you give us some real information that we can take with us, other than he's trying to destroy the city, he's trying to destroy. Brother, you sound like somebody off of Gotham City that's just trying to fearmonger and get people to go in one direction because you're telling them that it's about to rain a hell, it's about to be a hailstorm, and you need to listen to what I'm saying. Like, it's just ridiculous. The fearmongering needs to be backed by some intelligence, at least a small level of intelligence. We just want something of substance to take with us. And that's what makes Robert De Niro a clown in this. Okay, let me.
But we vowed we would not allow terrorists. I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street.
Hold on. Somebody said that this, Lisa Marie said that the security guards behind him are the Jan 6 police. Why? Why are the Jan 6 police behind Robert De Niro in New York? All right, if y'all can answer that, that would be phenomenal.
Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here. We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot. A two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids, pretending to be a spokesperson for himself. He was calling it as himself for himself, to fool the press into inflating his net worth.
Who you used to be friends with, who you used to love, who everybody in Hollywood used to love. Rappers, actors, singers, it does not matter. The list goes on and on. Models for days. He's giving people their first acting jobs. He's putting bags, I'm talking about real money, in people's hands who have not succeeded in that life. But Robert De Niro want to act like he's the worst, and he's always been the worst, and he's this and he's that. Come on, bro. You said he grew up pretending. You made your whole life pretending, bruh. Your whole life is pretending. Unless I'm missing something. Maybe I'm losing my damn mind. I don't know, man. Miss Thing, what is wrong with Robert De Niro? What's going on, Angel? I saw Angel out there.
A clown. But this city is pretty accommodating. We make room for clowns. We have them all over the city. People who do crazy things in the street, we tolerate it. It's part of the city, it's part of the culture. But not a person like Trump who will eventually run the country. That does not work, and we all know that. Anyway, we make room for clowns, to each his own.
Hey, brother, thank you so much, man. Hey, bro, Nick, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I don't know if you noticed, but I got your book right behind me, bro. I got your book right behind me. One of them, anyway. I'm reading the other one. The other one is upstairs. Once I'm done reading that one, that's going to go behind me, and that book will start getting read. Thank you so much for sending me those books, bro. I really appreciate you, and I wish you all success in the world. You are dope. Man, I got some real supporters out there, some real people who are doing some amazing things on their side of the planet, and they are just so dope, man. That's what keeps this world going together. Not people like Robert De Niro who just get in front of us and just lie and fearmonger just for the F of it. But let's go back to his failed speech. This speech is not going well, bro. It does not sound like you are this top of the line, top level actor who's been doing this for decades. It sounds like you're new to this. It sounds like you can barely read. It sounds like you're discombobulated because you're not getting that love and that support that you thought you would being in New York. You're listening to those Trump supporters let you know that you full of sugar honey iced tea and you are uncomfortable. We can see it all over your face.
But no one takes him or took him really seriously. They take him seriously now, of course. But around the country, people who didn't know him as we did started to support him. They bought into his bullshit. Trump bought their votes with outrageous lies and empty promises. He got the most religious evangelicals to applaud a sinner who bragged about sexual assault, and who, just a couple of blocks from here, a jury found him liable for sexual abuse. Somehow he even got self-styled patriots to support a man who called for terminating the Constitution, and on January 6th rallied an angry mob to threaten democracy, leaving death and destruction in its wake.
Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. For people who keep on talking about Jan 6 was the worst day ever and leaving destruction and turmoil and death. Come on, bruh. It sounds like he's trying to sell a damn movie that he's in. That's what it sounds. It sounds like he's trying to sell. Don't put it past Hollywood to be creating a movie right now called Jan 6 and might be starring Robert De Niro as the hero security guard that sets MAGA straight, that saves everybody, that comes through and saves the day. And you're talking about it was Trump that did that. Maxine Waters was the one saying that we need to go out there and we need to put a hurting on them. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Huh? You know what? Let me be quiet. Let's go back. And also I want to say thank you so much for the super chat. Harlow Rowe, he says, President Trump has helped build New York City. Just look at all of his properties in New York. Not just that, but he employs thousands of people around the world. De Niro needs to come back to the real world. You hear that, son? You hear that? An LFR family member said that to Rob De Niro. Hopefully he see this joint. I know he not, but if he does, bruh, you deserve every piece of I don't know everything we're saying about you. You deserve it because you're full of sugar honey iced tea. And honestly, I will say again, I was a huge fan of Robert De Niro. But this brother right here, this right here, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. What the lady say to LeBron, you need to shut up and act. You know when they say shut up and dribble? You need to shut up and act. All right? Shut your mouth and frickin' act. Go read a script. Get in front of a camera and do what you do. This right here, this ain't what you do, bro. You're not good at this at all. You're actually horrendous at this. Your speech that you wrote was trash. I think you need a filmmaker to write your speech. I think you need one of those huge directors to write your speech next time about Trump, because this one right here is not good, bro. Harlow Rowe, thanks again for the super chat, bro.
That's why I needed to be involved and wanted to be involved in the new Biden-Harris ad, because it shows the violence of Trump. and reminds us that he'll use violence against anyone who stands in the way of his megalomania and greed. But it's a coward's violence. Do you think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way. He doesn't get blood on his hands. No, he doesn't. He directs the mob to do his dirty work for him by making a suggestion, an inference. And his gang grovels and follows his obvious order. It's no surprise that the murder rate and other violent crimes peaked under Trump and are falling under Biden.
Bruh, are you slow? This man needs some milk. He said crimes are doing, listen, he said crimes peaked under Trump and have fallen under Biden. Great job, brother. There goes your credibility.
And now he's promising to use our own military to attack U.S. citizens. That's the tyrant.
He's promised to use our own military to attack American citizens? Did he? Bro, thank you so much for your super chat, man. He did not pay taxes. He made a deal with Biden. Thank you so much. What's your name again? Shantha? Thank you, brother. Let's go ahead and listen back to. I'm sorry. I'm not going to interject anymore. I'm just going to let it play. I apologize, guys.
That's the tyrant he's telling us he'll be. And believe me, he means it. When Trump ran in 2016, it was like a joke. This buffoon running for president. No, never could happen. We'd forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became vicious dictators. With Trump, we have a second chance. And no one is laughing now. This is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all.
Yes, stop Trump. We need to stop Trump because let me tell you something. Under Trump, there was no wars. Wars are good for the economy. We need wars. Look at Biden. All of these wars that happen under Biden's watch. Bruh, that's what boosts the economy. That's what we need. We need to stop Trump because before Trump, there wasn't 15,000 people crossing the daggone the border on a daily basis. There was hardly no people coming from other countries. There was no illegals. We didn't have extra help, extra voters. I mean, we didn't have extra people to vote for Biden. Yeah, we need to stop Trump because he wasn't letting anybody into the country. Now look at Biden. He's letting everybody in. We need to stop Trump. We don't need to stop him. We need to support him. Because right now, the president that we have is not doing his job. He's barely even cognizant. He's not there mentally. And people that's working for him and under him are taking advantage of him. Let me just go ahead back to this, man, because, okay.
We don't want to wake up after the election saying, what, again? My God, what the hell have we done? We can't have that happen again.
What the hell are you talking about, bro?
Yesterday was Memorial Day. It's a good time to reflect on how Americans fought and died so that we may enjoy the freedoms guaranteed to us by a democratic government. A government that, as President Lincoln said, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth.
It will not perish from the earth. What happened the 4 years that he was president? Did it get worse or did it get better? Okay.
I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you.
You hear that? He said, I don't mean to scare you, maybe I do mean to scare you. That's exactly what you mean to do. But it's okay with scaring people with the truth. Like, it's okay to wake us up with the truth. I don't mind I mean, like, give me the truth, but don't give me the BS that somebody paid you to write down in a speech, and you thought that you was going to kill it when you was in your limo or in the back seat of your SUV that was being driven by your drivers. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Relax.
If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave.
Who gave you that information, bro? Who gave you that information? Because he said that it wasn't fair? Because he pointed out all the different ways that y'all screwed him? Here's the thing. This is called projection. Usually when we have an effed up way of thinking, like, and we feel like if we were in that position, we would do something as devious as that. We would do something as debaucherous as that. So that's what he would do if nobody ever told y'all that. Why do we keep on selling people that damn lie? If he becomes president, he's never going to leave. He's going to be the last president we got. He's going to be a dictator for the rest of our lives, and we're going to have to deal with Trump. What's happening is y'all are running scared with your tail between your legs. He said, I'm sorry if I'm scaring you. No, matter of fact, I'm okay. It's okay if I'm scaring you. It's because you're scared and you want other people to be afraid. This is the thing that when people say hurt people, when folks say hurt people, this is what that mean right here. He is fearful because he know that him, all of his counterparts, the administration that he supports and is bribed to say certain things are going to be on the losing end. They're not going to have the power anymore. And he's fearful that if Trump and if his administration are even the same as them, he would do something evil because they do evil sugar honey iced tea. Okay, never mind.
He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
Thank you.
What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
I appreciate you, bro. Is that what we want? Is for him to not leave and be dictator for life? Bruh, say something of substance, please. Please, just once, just one thing of substance, just one thing, bro. Or maybe I'm just missing it because I'm just biased. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't know.
I hope this new ad campaign reaches outside the bubble to remind supporters of what a danger he is to our lives. This is not a threat. This is a reality. And that's why I've joined the Biden-Harris campaign, because the only way to preserve our freedoms and hold on to our humanity is to vote for Joe Biden for president.
Bruh, you are full of sugar honey iced tea. Let me ask you this, because I heard that Rob De Niro had a black wife at some point. I don't know if he still does, but I know that Rob De Niro at some point, at least I heard, had a black wife or black girlfriend or something. Which one of those presidents are more detrimental to black people? Just go ahead and just help me out with that. Which one? Huh? Which one? I bet none of them want to answer that. None of them. They will always go back to the bull sugar honey iced tea that he's talking about. He didn't give us one fact. He didn't give us any context behind any of the things that he's saying about Trump. Nothing.
Really? We don't have a choice. On January 6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump, in the White House, and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol, brave men and women from law enforcement put their lives on the line to defend this country. our democracy. They are the true heroes.
Constitutional republic, bruh. Constitutional republic. Is it difficult for people to say that? No. Our democracy. Our democracy.
These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath.
Right.
Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
He just told you what he's saying, bruh. Robert De Niro, don't do that. Do not mix it up with the people because you're not smart enough to do that. Know your role. Know your lane, bruh. The gentleman is telling him that the two guys behind him have lied under oath. Who lied under oath? What are you saying? The two heroes right there, they lied? What they lie about? They didn't lie. I know everything about them. I know their mothers. I know their aunts. I know their uncles. I grew up with them. They didn't lie. They don't lie. Look at them. They don't lie. Look at their face. Innocent. Look, they look like two puppies. They just super innocent, like two puppy innocents.
They're traitors.
They're traitors. You gotta, I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend.
You can listen. That's it. You can listen. Because the rooms that you're in aren't telling the complete truth. And when they do tell the truth, you say, la, 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 I don't hear you, I don't hear you, I don't hear you, I don't want to hear the truth, I don't want to hear the truth. Get out my face. You get out my face. You're ignorant. Get out my face. Blah, 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 blah. You act like a child. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. Well, just listen to him. This is an actual voter that you call crazy. You called them crazy. Here's the thing. They are attacking everybody that support Trump, and they are calling you all crazy the same way that Hillary Clinton called y'all a basket of deplorables. That did nothing in 2016 that helped the left. What that did was piss people off. That pissed people off and said, "Oh, that's how you look at me? All right. Is that how you look at me? All right, I'm gonna see you at the voting booth, baby. I'm gonna see you at the voting booth." And what happened? Hillary Clinton went 4 years talking about how Trump was an illegitimate president. But then they said she wasn't the first election denier, or she wasn't an election denier at all. Shit. Not your daggone cotton picking mind.
I don't even know how to deal with you. They stood there, they didn't have to. And there were other ones in there who probably were in with them a little bit too, and they found a way to get around. Not these guys. They stood there and fought for us, for you. For you.
No, they didn't. For you. They stood and they fought for you. Yeah, they did their jobs. That's exactly what they did. They did their jobs for them because it's their jobs. They did their jobs. And they know what happened and they know what didn't happen. And if you're looking at their faces right now, they're like, my name Bennett, I ain't in it. We got away with some things. We done. Thank you so much for the super chat, Samantha. I really appreciate it. Samantha says, I've loved and supported you way before you hit politics. Oh, thank you so much, Samantha. I appreciate that. Watching you change your opinions on things and watching the journey. I love your channel. Thank you for trying to wake people up. I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to wake myself up, and I'm just doing it publicly. If anyone else is waking up while I'm waking up, hey, that's a bonus. That's an extra. I mean, I appreciate that. That's called a blessing. And right now, you see what we're dealing with, Samantha. This is crazy. Like, if I just ignore this, I'm part of the problem, just like I was part of the problem for voting for Biden. Yep. But thank you so much, Samantha. I really appreciate that.
Well, they weren't fighting for me.
No, they fought for you, buddy. You're able to stand right here now.
They fought for you because of them.
They are the true heroes. I'm honored to be with these two heroes today, from former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn and former Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Fanone.
All right, so we got another joint that I'm about to pull up because I need for y'all to see this right here. All right, so y'all know I like to watch lefties losing it. And I don't like the fact that other countries are making fun of our country right now. I don't like that. But Australia, Sky News, I dig them. I really do. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me. If you can do me a favor, hit that like button. That would be absolutely dope. That's the only price for admission to hang out. Just hit that like button. Be respectful in the comments to one another. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And for all my blues, thank you so much for helping me out, guys. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Y'all are so dope. And before we go to the main video that I wanted to show you guys, I did want to put this out there that I am coaching people on YouTube, and I would love to coach you because a lot of us feel like we are not content creators. We feel like we got to do something all special. Maybe we feel like we got to be more handsome than we are, more beautiful than we are, younger than we are, more intelligent than we are, funnier than we are, more charismatic than we are. And that couldn't be further from the truth. All right. Regular day-to-day people like yourselves, like me, like I'm a regular looking guy, regular dude overall, put God and family before everything. You need to be the new content creators. You have a lot to offer. If you raise children or help raise children, then you have a lot to bring to the table. If you had a career for all these years, you have a lot to bring to the table. You have something to talk about. You should be in front of a video, in front of the camera, talking about these situations because your voice needs to be heard, okay? And if you need any help with that, reach out to me with the word coach. We have people that are doing some phenomenal things in the coaching group and in the VIP, and I would love to talk to you as soon as possible. Okay, let's go ahead and get our next joint in there because we about to, man, y'all, there's going to be some people mad at me today. Yeah, it is, and I don't care because Rob De Niro, I don't know, bro. Rob De Niro is, I don't know, bro. Robert De Niro, he's a clown for this, bro. He's definitely a clown for this. But let's go ahead and check this joint out. And y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments, okay? All right.
What do you make of above it all Biden now actually going, right? The Democrats were salivating. Trump's stuck in court. He's not going to be able to say anything. Joe Biden's got the whole nation to himself. Meanwhile, they're like, holy shit, all the action's over there. We better get over there right now. Who do we send? Get Robert De Niro. He's one of the biggest stars on earth. Everybody will love him. Well, he got booed to the point where he started to like get upset. Somebody, and I gotta imagine it was a Trump supporter, must have hit one of those car alarms, the annoying car alarms, which took over half of his remarks.
That was hilarious. I'm mad that I didn't point that out, but that was hilarious. The brother he had something to say and somebody hit the car alarm. It was like, man, boop, 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 just bumping up against cars and just sitting up other cars, just, shaking people handles on their car door handles, trying to set off their alarms.
He was so annoyed. He's not used to going into the room and not being the most popular guy there. Stu, so what do you make of their running to Trump? Sometimes when Muhammad won't go to the mountain, you know what has to happen.
Well, you know, there was a big story in Politico today saying that the Dems are in full freakout mode over the Biden candidacy and how it's going, and which is not well. So what better way to turn the narrative around about your, 80-plus-year-old doddering candidate than send out an 80-plus-year-old doddering celebrity to support him in front of a courthouse where he shows up, by the way, in a cloth mask outdoors.
Oh, my God.
He walks up in a mask, I guess, to prevent COVID-19 outdoor transmission, which scientists will tell you has never occurred outside of very close conversation. And then he, of course, steps up to the podium, and when he's surrounded by everybody, and removes the mask immediately. it's actually a really good microcosm of how this is going so far for
It's
Biden.
so true. Unless the mask read vote, it couldn't have been any better.
Yeah, it's true. It's just embarrassing. This is an embarrassing situation, and they are now getting to the point where I think they've had this narrative in their head since the beginning, Megan, I think, where they thought, look, people, Trump left office and wasn't all that popular, right? He leaves in 2020, even before January 6th, his approval rating was never sky high. People will remember eventually that they didn't like him. They'll see him on TV, he'll start tweeting again or something, and the people will be reminded. And the closer and closer we get to this election, I think they're realizing that the average everyday situation for the average everyday person is overwhelming whatever distaste they had for Donald Trump's personality or hijinks outside of office. They don't seem to be thinking about that. They seem to be thinking about their bank accounts and the fact that they're paying, $9 a gallon for milk. And this is a big problem for them, and one that is overwhelming whatever concerns they have about Trump. They look.
Facts. Your personality and how you speak about things is not at the top of my list when it comes to me being able to provide for my family. All right? At least if you're a sensible adult. If you're a sensible adult, you're not looking at how somebody made you feel when they said something, or how somebody made you feel when they did not say something. It's a bully pulpit. It's all about social credit score. They're trying to destroy this brother's social credit score so that everything that's actually real no longer matters. And we fall for it time after time after time. Mo Mama 723, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm loving this. Rob De Niro deserves all the negative attention. Yes, he does right now. He deserves all of the attention, period, because what he's spewing is the negativity. So that's where he's going to get the negative attention. If he was positive, or if he came with some facts, then it might be a lot of positive attention. But unfortunately, he didn't have any facts. He was not armed properly when he stepped up to those microphones. And he got what he got. And I'm sure he had a horrible ride home. I'm sure he's still pissed off. I'm sure he's looking at YouTube right now and don't understand why all of y'all are picking on him. Thank you so much, Mama 723. I appreciate it. She says, skeletons in the closet, keep you a slave to them. We can see it. Bless you.
Back at Trump is something that, it was a positive memory in their mind as opposed to what they have now. And they might not like Donald Trump, but what they do know is they don't want what they have at this moment.
Dave, here's some sound from outside the courtroom. De Niro talking about what's going to happen. We keep hearing this from Rachel Maddow and others. If Trump wins, suggesting we'll never get rid of him. He's going to stay in office forever and ever. He will single-handedly bend the Constitution to his will. Sot one.
If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
They act like Trump is a scumbag son or a scumbag daughter who's just went out in the world and just started doing something strange for some change and been hooked on drugs and alcohol, and then we finally let him come back in. He come knocking at the door like, I don't know what to do. I ain't got nowhere to stay. Can I stay with y'all? And we like, look, babe, if we let him live with us, he's not gonna ever leave. We've seen him do this, that, and other. That's not the case with Trump. And they sound foolish every time they say it. It's idiotic. You cannot, we don't, it's like they feel like they can control us based off of just our fears. That right there should be disrespectful enough for people to want to at least look into it. Look into it. Do your own research. Make up your own mind, because right now when somebody says, if this happened, the worst is going to happen. The sky is going to fall. I promise you it's going to be the worst ever. If somebody's doing that to you, you need to say, why are they trying so hard to keep me from looking into this? And guess what you should do to them? It might be a little offensive, but I believe that this might work. You should look into it. That'll really do it to them.
What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life? This is not a threat. This is a reality.
I'm laughing at the horns, because when y'all pointed out the horns, man, that was hilarious. The horns started like immediately. Dun, 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 dun. And like in his first 2 or 3 minutes, because he talked for like 10 minutes. And in the first 2 minutes, the horns went off. That's hilarious, man. The horns are the real MVP. I would like to interview the horn guy. Whoever hit the horn, I want to talk to you. If you watch my YouTube channel, I want to talk to you, and I want to know what made you hit the horn, brother or sister.
And that's why I've joined the Biden-Harris campaign, because the only way to preserve our freedoms and hold on to our humanity is to vote for Joe Biden for president. Really. We don't have a choice.
Y'all heard him mess up. He was looking like, really? We don't have a choice. Hey, Courtney, thank you so much for the super chat. You're absolutely awesome. I appreciate you guys for being with me today. If you haven't hit that like button yet or shared this yet on any social media platform you like, preferably X or Facebook inside of a group, that would be phenomenal. But you ain't got to do all that. Just hit that like button. Thank you so much. And Courtney, she says, you would think as an actor, he would be more convincing. He absolutely is not. He need to shut the hell up. That's what Courtney said. He need to shut the hell up and go focus on his young ass kids who are young enough to be his grandkids. Y'all know they always like to go after the really young ladies. That's what they do. They really like to go after not saying that there's anything wrong with dating someone who's younger than you as long as they are legal. But me? Nah. I have a daughter that's 27. I have a daughter that's 18. I still look at my 27-year-old, my baby girl, as my baby girl. Yep. I still look at her as my baby girl. Call it what it is, but that's just me. I'm a little old school. All right? And people like Robert De Niro, who claim to be old school, bruh, you are trash, man.
Okay, just to follow up on that, Dave, here's
Thank you, Courtney.
a little bit of the pushback that he was getting and how he handled it in SOT 2.
For these lowlives, for Trump.
Low lives. He called MAGA country low lives. Y'all heard him? He called y'all low lives.
Under oath.
They lied under oath. Who lied under oath?
Talking about the J6
what
cops.
What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. You gotta, I don't know, I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
Of course,
Dave, should Robert De Niro have been dealing with them at all?
Listen, if you look over De Niro's shoulder in that first clip, you can see Biden comms director Michael Tyler thinking to himself, "Oh my God, my career is over." I mean, it's right there at his eyes. Like you can completely see it. No, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I've covered every inch of this trial for the Morning Wire every day. So I'm there 9 o'clock this morning. There's my TV. There's my laptop. There's my thing, and I see Biden-Harris going to do a presser at the trial. Thought like, well, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. That doesn't send the message. This isn't political, right? But I thought, okay, that's dumb. And then I'm scrolling Twitter, and I don't know if you guys know Phil Wegman. He's a buddy of mine, wonderful White House correspondent for Real Clear Politics. One of the few guys who asks the tough questions, right? Serious journalist. I'm a goofy columnist. He's a serious journalist, right? And he quote tweets the press release, and he says, one of the speakers will be Robert De Niro. my hand to God, my first thought was, good for Phil. This is funny. This is a good, funny joke. It's nice to see Phil let his hair down. And then I was like, wait a minute, Phil wouldn't make this joke in this situation. And I still couldn't believe it was real. I am absolutely flummoxed. That is the dumbest move that I've ever seen a presidential campaign make in my entire life. Biden's campaign staff reminds me of a line from Glenn Ross when Ricky Roma looks at the office manager and he says, your job is to help us, not to fuck us up. And that's what I'd be saying if I was Joe Biden to my campaign staff right now. They're horrible. Look, I don't know if they're going to switch out Joe Biden. They got to switch out these fools because this was a hot mess.
Yeah. And honestly, like the January 6th cops, the thing is, Stu, these two in particular, especially Fanone, have been so partisan, so political. I mean, they hate President Trump. And I get that maybe they have additional reasons to dislike him, given what happened on J 6th. But if you listen to, in particular, this guy Fanone, I don't know Harry Dunn as well, everything he says about Trump is interpreted through the most harsh, partisan, Trump derangement syndrome afflicted lens. It's like, okay, we get it, right? Like these are, and De Niro too. I was on Fox News. I was in the prime time of Fox, and we had Robert De Niro on camera in an exclusive rant about Donald Trump. It was the first time he'd really come out and said how he felt about politics. And we broke that on my show when he ran and lost to Hillary Clinton. So what is it that they think has changed between then and now that De Niro couldn't get Trump defeated in 2016 to Hillary, but somehow he can do the job now against Joe Biden?
It is strange calculus. I don't understand it at all. I mean, obviously the Democrats have this quote unquote advantage of having all of the celebrities on earth liking them instead of Republicans, and they trot these people out constantly. I've never really seen much success with this approach, though. I don't know that it does anything for anyone. You kind of understand in theory the Capitol Police officer approach, right? These are people who, look, on January 6th, some Capitol Police officers were victims of being hit with flagpoles and things like this. There are some that I think are characters that you'd want on your side. You mentioned Harry Dunn, though. He's not one of them. I mean, Harry Dunn has, what the person said to De Niro, at least part of it, was accurate. He has lied under oath. Our own Steve Baker here at The Blaze has done extensive reporting on this with video. He got access to all of the cameras inside the Capitol. Harry Dunn said under oath that he was in one place in the Capitol and had a confrontation. We have the video from that time. He was on the other side of the building, nowhere near where he said he was. This has been shown with video over and over again. Please look at Steve Baker's reporting on this. And he went on to, of course, run for a congressional seat, which he lost in a primary a couple of weeks ago. But he has been someone that the Democrats have tried to use this idea that he's this hero cop, and large parts of his story have already been proven to be untrue. They don't care. They have this idea that they can still control this narrative. And forever, through the mainstream media, this has been true. They've been right. They've been able to do this. I just don't think 2024, the same story. I don't think rolling out famous celebrities and people who are newsmakers whose stories have been proven at least half untrue, that's not going to work anymore because you don't have a media that is going to tell the story lock, stock, and barrel the way they want it. And I think they're going to wake up to a situation where they just don't have the control they believe they do. And I think it's just, now that we're within 6 months, it's starting to terrify them.
Now that we're within 6 months, it is starting to terrify them that all of their tricks are not working. That's what's happening. Now that it's within 6 months, they are realizing that all of our tricks, us putting all of the three-letter agencies against him and trying to bury him, trying to make sure that he don't have enough money to deal with what we put on him. He don't have enough dime, nor do he have enough time to get out there and do what he need to do to become the next president. If we keep him in the courts, how can he be out there, giving speeches and telling people what's wrong with this administration and how he can correct it? because every opportunity that he does have, that he is in front of a microphone, that's exactly what he's talking about. That's what we need to hear. What's going on with the current administration with regard to the country and how it's doing now, and what I'm going to do when I'm in office, and this is how the country will be from that. That's what we need to hear. That's what we need to hear. Thank you so much for the super chats, guys. I really appreciate it. Y'all are absolutely dope. And I told y'all that I was going to play it. So now we're about to go ahead and check out the real joint that I wanted to play with y'all. Play for y'all. Okay, let's go. Shout out to the car horn, by the way. The car horn, you are the real MVP. You are the real MVP. And so is Rita.
Joining me now is the best-selling author of groundbreaking books, including The War on the West, The Madness of Crowds, and The Strange Death of Europe. Douglas Murray, it's the Strange Death of Europe I want to speak to you about. But first, I need your take on what we saw today outside the New York courtroom where Donald Trump's trial is being conducted. We had Robert De Niro make an appearance with this important message.
I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
There you have it. Elections, democracy, it's all over if Trump wins. It got even worse than that, Douglas. I'll be featuring some of the lunacy later in the program. But what did you make of that, and will it have any impact on the voting public?
The only impact that Robert De Niro and other celebrities have when they do this kind of thing is to encourage more voters to silently vote for Trump. First of all, I mean, what is somebody like De Niro thinking of? Who does he think he is? What does he think his role is in society? I mean, he's an actor, and I think a very good one, which is one of the reasons I really dislike it when I see an actor like him do this, because afterwards you can't help but watch him in a role and then think, oh, there's that guy who's a rather tedious political bore. But it is tedious and it is boring. He has no special insights. And so why is he standing in front of a bank of microphones offering his insights about Trump? I've always thought that this celebrity, endorsement, celebrity commenting thing backfires on the people that they support. I think most ordinary Americans, like most ordinary Australians and Brits, we don't really like to be talked at by, mega celebrities who imagine they've got insights they just don't have.
You're so right. I preferred it when they just threatened to leave the country if someone got elected, and yes, they never actually follow through with that either. Now, your good friend and courageous women's rights activist Ayaan Hirsi Ali was on the Trigonometry podcast this week, and she noted that within 3 decades, she's seen Europe start to resemble the Islamist country she fled.
Many neighborhoods resemble where I left. And that just happened within 3 decades. And so you can see when I talk about transformation that it doesn't take that long. And so there were really some very serious scholars. They were all telling us back in the day that if this demographic developments continue and we don't do anything about assimilation, there is going to be this flip in 2040, 2050. That's not too far away.
It's not too far away, Douglas, which begs the question, is it too late now to stop this flip, this transformation, this strange death of Europe as we know it?
I mean, I would say it's extremely difficult to know because predictions are always tough, rough on people. All you can do is base them on the evidence in front of your eyes. And I think that what Ayaan said there is completely true and indeed evident. It's evident because if a population grows that is effectively in large part unassimilated, or at least has views that the rest of the country finds abhorrent or just distasteful. If that particular demographic grows and grows and grows, of course they're going to have more and more impact, more and more presence. They'll be felt more and more in the country. When Ayaan first arrived in the Netherlands as an asylum seeker, she was one of the protégés, among other things, of the politician Frits Bolkestein. And he was warning about this in the 1990s. And, others of us warned about it. And not only did governments not listen, they actually made the situation worse. I mean, look at the UK. In the UK, we have a Conservative government about to leave office after 14 years, got into office saying that immigration would become tens of thousands of people a year rather than hundreds of thousands, roughly back to 1990s immigration. And the Conservatives are going to leave office with net migration in the UK at almost 1 million a year. Why did these people not listen? Why did they never listen? Why did they never act on all of the warnings after warnings that people gave? So you ask, is it going to happen? Yes, if we continue like this. And if we continue in this situation where the political class both accelerates immigration massively, totally fails at integration. I mean, good luck with that old idea. And then tells the general public, as they do, that it's all a conspiracy theory that the immigration is happening at this pace. And it's all a great replacement conspiracy theory. So what you see before your eyes is a conspiracy theory. It'll happen if it goes on like that, for sure.
And we have so many in the West who have no regard for the West. They don't want to assimilate. They're not called on to assimilate. They have no respect for Western civilization and the values we have. And that was apparent in the streets of London last week as supporters of the Iranian regime clashed with anti-regime protesters.
Okay, so whenever they're talking about these wars and whatnot, I try to stay away from it. I really do. To be honest with you, I really do try to stay away from it because I still don't know what we're able to talk about or not talk about. People's channels are still demonetized for talking about things they're not supposed to be talking about, even after they clean up their channels and they're doing extremely well, and their live streams are popping and booming way more than most people's live streams. They still aren't giving them their fair shake. I'm not speaking on anybody, specific, but we all know what's happening. So whenever these type of conversations come up, I speak about them, but I don't speak about them publicly on live streams or even in the videos that we put together and produce, that we pre-record and we produce, and those type of things. But that's unfortunate. We can't even talk about world affairs now without triggering some side that don't want certain truths to be out there yet. And since we are the creators, the content creators that are putting that information out there, we are the ones that's hit. So with that said, that actually almost made me stop doing politics altogether when I realized how much I can't talk about or how much I can't say. I am not good in speaking in code. I'm 46 years old. I've gotten to a point where in my life where it's much easier to tell the truth all the time. And it's easier to speak that way. I'm free and clear. I can think clearly that way. And unfortunately, as a content creator, that's one thing that comes with it. On these different platforms, you got to play by their rules. And that's unfortunate that you can't even speak on certain things. So shout out to all the people who are still doing that thing day in and day out, making sure that you still give your community the truth. You still cover certain topics no matter what. Keep up the good fight. I appreciate you. I'm sure your community also appreciates you. And yeah, but I just wanted to cover that one right there because I knew that they was talking about the Rob De Niro situation as well. Guys, so let me see what y'all are speaking on inside of it here. Feed moves quick at times. Yeah, it moves really quick when we have a whole bunch of people in here. So I actually lose track of all of the of many of the super chats and whatnot. So that being said, if you are one of my super chatters tonight, today, this morning, sorry about that, today, and I did not acknowledge you, my apologies. Charge that to my mind, not my heart, because I definitely want to give people their flowers whenever they show extra love, whenever they, they just show extra support. So thank you so much. Here's my information right here, guys. In the event that you need some assistance with your YouTube coaching, or if you want to grow on YouTube and watching all of the Think Media videos is not helping you, watching all of the Nick Nimmons videos and Roberto Blake videos is not helping you, maybe something that I have can help you. It has been helping other people, and I would love to work with you. So here's my information right here. Reach out to me with the word coach. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. All of my blues, all of the people that have been helping me out, thank you so much in the comments. And if you are one of the individuals, if you are one of my supporters that want to become one of our mods, that would be so amazing. Just let one of my mods know, and we can make that happen. Okay. I really appreciate you all. If you're looking to grow on YouTube, please reach out to me. I do have a call, my group call coming up right now, and I already started to send out the invitations so that the guys can pull up. But I want y'all to not be afraid, though. Not be afraid to speak out. Not be afraid to cut your cameras on and speak, or just to cut on the recording and just give some audio. Give your truths. Start creating content. Give your grandkids and your great grandkids something to see when you're no longer of the age to perform, or just give them something that they can archive, because I know it would have been cool if I would have been able to see my great grandparents or my grandparents in some capacity showing me who they was as people. I'm showing me their spirit, showing me if they were kind-hearted, if they were intellectual, if they were business-minded, if they were creative. Love to see that with my own grandparents and my own great grandparents. Well, you can potentially be that for your grandkids and your great grandkids. You can give them an archive of something to be able to look back on and be like, that's my granddad right there. That's my auntie. That's my, you know what I mean? And you're not here to perform. What you're doing is just adding value to this world with your own insight, with your own perspective, with your own experiences. Okay? So don't be afraid of this content creation thing. It's something that's upon us. All of us need to know how to have this. Is another skill that we should all use, because everything is internet, social media nowadays. You all know that. But until next time, man, I'm about to go ahead to my group. Much love to you all. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next live stream. All of my blues, love y'all, man. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. All of my super chatters, love y'all. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. And I look forward to meeting with my future clients who email me with the word coach. See y'all next time.